Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Does Boxing. Back again with another one. Like I told you guys, I'll be back with these news and notes for this past week. We got a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of stuff to go through. Before I get into everything, though, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. You can follow me on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, and then you can tap into the website, ldosboxing.com. So, yeah, got that out the way. We got a lot of stuff to cover, so feel free. If you miss something, you can always ask. You know what I'm saying? You ain't throwing me out my rhythm. You know what I'm saying? If it's off topic, it's all good. But we're going to get into it. So we're going to start with some fight announcements. We got this one right here. We talked about this on the platform before with Matisse versus Valenzuela. So they officially announced this week, March the 1st, down in Puerto Rico. It's going to be live on the Zone. Subriel Matisse is linked up with Dimitri Salita Promotion. So he got a co-promotional deal right there. This is a good fight right here. It's for the IBF final eliminator to become Richardson Hitchens mandatory. So yeah, that's a good one. Right now, Hitchens is involuntary. He's in a voluntary stage. They talking about him fighting Teofimo or whoever, right? So his next fight don't have to be a mandatory. But the winner of this fight, you know what I'm saying, they're in great position. And I think it can go either way because Valenzuela is a good puncher. He liked to go on the road and upset guys. He went to Canada. He went to the UK, upset some guys, and now he going to Puerto Rico. So he have another opportunity to do that. And Matisse, he's a pressure, come forward fighter. You know what he's bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? All action. So this makes for a good fight right here. So yeah, make sure you guys tap in as we get closer. We're going to talk more about that though, for real. So staying on March the 1st, they announced the prelims to the undercard of Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. You got former Unified World Champion Jerry Hurd, who's, we know he passed it. He's going to face Johan Gonzalez. To me, this is pretty much 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, this seeing how Hurd looked in his last fight against Rosario, and they fought to a draw. This could be another one. So this one will be live on the PBC platforms. You know what I'm saying? You can watch it for free. They got 2 fights. Hurd and Gonzalez, and Lopez versus Demogani. Demogani is a southpaw action type fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's coming off a stoppage loss to Renee Tellis. Renee Tellis just had his fight with Schofield. The fight before he fought Schofield, he stopped Demogani on pro box, I think in the 6th round. Then Lopez, he's a flashy prospect / contender. I'm calling him a contender because he got some top 5 rankings in the IBF, and he's a good fighter. Southpaw, can do a lot of things in the ring. He had a nice knockout on one of the PBC prelims last year. So yeah, they're bringing him back. So I know people see this and they see Jerry Hurd, and first thing they say, they always put down. See, so when I look at shit, right? I look at how good the fight's going to be, right? Hurd and Gonzalez is going to be a good fight. Whether it mean anything going forward or whatever, these matchups be real good. Just like last week on that undercard, we had good matchups. I mean, I didn't expect Fulton and Figueroa to be so one-sided, but the rest of the fights was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing here. And of course, we know the pay-per-view card. You got Tank versus Roach. You got Rayo versus Antoine Russell. Who else? You got Sando Martin versus Playo. And then you have Yoenis Tellis versus J. Rock Williams. So, yeah, man, should be pretty solid card. You know what I'm saying? JC, I know JC was in here earlier. What's good with you, bro? Old Rod in the building. 2 cents. What's good? Yeah, Rayo looking jack. Yeah, that's the co-man. Yeah, it's a good card. I like the card. Pretty even matchups. Like I still haven't figured out who I think will win against Playo and Sandor, and that's what you want. So yeah, that's what it is. All right, so we have got some news on this one coming up this week, right? So Duarte got a new opponent, Miguel Madueno, because Regis Prograis pulled out with a shoulder injury. This is actually a great replacement. I'm not even gonna hold you. I mean, at the point of Regis' career, you can argue that it's a better opponent. Let's keep it a buck. But we know McDaniel. He been there with Keyshawn, gave Keyshawn a tough fight. He lost to Steve Claggett because he was fighting another pressure fighter. He got all pressure. So that might be something to look at. But this is going to be a fun one. The thing to look at as well with the Claggett fight, that Claggett fight was at 140. So when you will have some people that would say, "Oh, Keyshawn's toughest fight was McDaniel. That was at 135. He fought Claggett at 140. It's actually that shit is a difference, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And this one, I think it's gonna be above 140, something like 143, something like that. But it's gonna be all action because Duarte, he sits right in front of you, throwing big wide shots. He's a strong puncher. McDaniel is rough and rugged. He proved he had a good chin. He got a good chin, so that should be a fun fight. February 15th. That's a good replacement. Here's another one. Listen, yo, this is a underrated type of fight right here for you guys. You have the WBA interim champion Albert Bagaziev. Albert Bagaziev, right? He's the mandatory for Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? So Lamont Roach, he'll have some. He got a decision to make after the Tank Davis fight. If he wins, then he have to notify the IBF. You know what I'm saying? And no, the WBA, which belt he want to keep. So if he beat Tank, then he can stay at either division. He'll have like a certain amount of time. If he don't, he'll have to fight his WBA mandatory Bagaziev, who is going to take a defense March the 7th. It's actually a smart move because Bagaziev is staying on course and staying on schedule with Lamont Roach, who is going to fight a week before him. So I actually think that's smart. You know what I'm saying? So because the clock going to start ticking after Bagaziev make that title defense. You know what I'm saying? I think he got 120 days to make that defense. So he's going to face the Argentina fighter, Neri Romero. You know what I'm saying? So something to look out for. It's going to be on the IBA website. Like I mentioned this too on my platform, that IBA is one of these platforms you can go watch amateur boxing. You got some pro boxing as well. You go to their website; it's free, and they'll link you in with their YouTube channel. So yeah, man, this is interesting to me because a lot of the times a lot of fans don't really be knowing what's really next. We go off the biggest names, like who we want to see. Like for example, if Lamont Roach lose, right, like people expecting, we'll be like, yo, he need to go unify with O'Shaquie Foster or go unify with Navarrete, which sounds good in theory, but realistically, he has a mandatory that's already due. You know what I'm saying? That he was allowed an exception to go face Tank. So, yeah, I just want to throw that out there just in case. Alpha LD, what's good with you, bro? Salute. Yeah, bro, he tough, man. McDaniel tough. Yeah, he tough. He gonna give Duarte a good fight. All right, here's another one. Another fight that I like. They just announced this. This one is going down March the 15th on the RCC Boxing YouTube channel. And they normally have some good fights. RCC are the same promoters that has Zor Adelev. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk more about him later. But you have Karen Akaba. He's a southpaw fighter. Real good, yo. You know what I'm saying? He got some high rankings in the WBA and the IBF. He's gonna face Kevin Brown, you know what I'm saying, the Cuban. And this is a WBA eliminator, so it's like, I don't know, this is like the third eliminator that the WBA that had at 140. You know what I'm saying? Rayo is the champion. I know Andy Harako fought an eliminator. Kenneth Sims Jr. fought an eliminator. It's like hella eliminators. So, but this is a solid fight though, and this is a step up for Kevin Brown, who have to go to Russia to get this fight. So that's what's up. Look, under the radar fight that I like to talk about. It just got announced. Amari Jones, the Olympian, a U.S. Olympian, he's making his pro debut March 15th. He got an opponent. what's his name, Master Zeno. I remember that guy. This opponent, he fought Xander a couple years ago. Xander stopped him. I don't want to say 1 round or some shit. So he got like 18, 19 fights for Amari Jones, who making his pro debut. We want to see if he can be one of these elite fighters down the road. First things first, pro debut out the way. He just signed with Matchroom, so yeah, looking forward to that. Also on this card, they got Emma Williams versus Patrice Vanoy. And I'm hearing some rumors that they're trying to do Berlanga on this card too. But I don't know. We'll see. We should be hearing something soon because we almost a month out. And we haven't heard. We've been hearing about Berlanga coming back in March, but we haven't heard no opponent. So we'll see. Here's another one that they announced. Now this one we already knew, but it's all good though. They officially announced it. You know what I'm saying? You have George Kambosos is going to face Don Jordan from Indonesia. So this is, to me, this is just this type of fight. It tells me what level Kambosos is at. Like I mentioned this before, I'm not really mad at this fight. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because I feel like Kambosos, he arguably lost his last 4 fights. You know what I'm saying? Arguably lost his last 4 fights. So it's like he need to get back. And I think his team is bringing this level of opponent to get him back in the winning circle. You know what I'm saying? This guy Jordan, we haven't seen him really on big time fights in a long time. He fought Anthony Corolla back in the day. He fought Chris John at featherweight. You know what I'm saying? Caballero at featherweight. So, he's an older guy, really ain't got to the top level. And this is a real step down as far as name value and competition. But we're going to see what Kambosos got. You know what I'm saying? He moving up to 140. This is his first fight at 140. I mean, we're going to see. It's a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? He haven't won a fight, I don't know how long. I mean, legitly won a fight since Teofimo. Like, we all know Massey Hughes won that fight. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody even tripping off that. It's hard to kind of deny that. Even the promoter is like, he thought Massey Hughes won the fight. So, we'll see. We got 2 women's world title fights on this card. Scott Nicholson versus Tierra Brown. This is interesting because Tierra Brown been calling out Scott for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? She finally get her opportunity. So we're going to see what she brings to the table. We know Sky is a boxer. She'll move around the ring. She'll counter puncher. We're going to see. If she, Tierra Brown says she's a runner, she always moving, then you got to cut that ring off. We got to see what's going to happen with that. But yeah, that's a good fight, though. That's at the featherweight division. And the winner of this fight is pretty much number 1 in that division because Amanda Serrano is still champion. She got a couple of belts still there, but she ain't coming back to 26. I don't believe so. She got big fights ahead of her. Another Kay Taylor fight, maybe somebody else, a bigger name. So I don't see her even coming back. So it's a good fight, though. We're going to see. Then we got a rematch. Shanika Johnson versus Nina Hughes. This is for the WBA title, 118. The first fight had it was a good fight, the first fight, but it had some controversy because the ring announcer announced the wrong winner. You know what I'm saying? So had people up in arms. But this is a good fight, though, to run it back. And then Terramona is on the card, the Olympian, the big heavyweight. He just fought twice in like a month, in December and January, and he'll be right back in March. So, yeah, he's a good fighter. Hopefully they can step him up, shortly. So, yeah, this is a card, March 22nd on the Zone, early morning down in Australia. So, you guys got to get up for that if you want to tap in. And we're gonna talk about it as it get closer. Here's another card that was announced for March 22nd. Pro Box is at it again. You got Lester Martinez versus Joshon James. So I know, man, y'all keep seeing those 2 guys on these posters. That's because the fight got postponed like 3-4 times. Those guys supposed to fight last night, but Martinez, he's sick again. And he's in that same training camp with Bo Mack and Keyshawn, Terrence Crawford. He's in that camp. So hopefully they get this over the line. You know what I'm saying? Joshua James is a good fighter. He like to, he one of these guys. He always come in on the B side, but he be upset some of these guys. He should be 11-0. He shouldn't have no draws on his resume, but he got bad decisions. And Lester Martinez is a top 5 contender in the WBA in their ranking, so he's close to a world title. Vladimir Hernandez, he always in great fights. You know what I'm saying? Against Losario, that's gonna be a good one. You know what Vlad Hernandez brings to the table. And then you have a women's world title fight: Jasmine Ortega versus Regina Chavez, vacant WBA title at 115. So yeah, all 3 of these fights should be pretty solid and action packed, just like Pro Box always bring. You know what I'm saying? So this is another example of that. She gonna get smashed. Nah, I think she gonna dominate this fight. I think she gonna dominate this fight, bro. But we gonna see. We got action, yes sir. Because if you watch Tierra Brown fight, she kind of. I'm gonna say in my breakdown, but she's not like as aggressive like we think she is. She gonna have to cut the ring off and sell out in this fight against Sky Nicholson. She's kind of fight relaxed. And like she's a good fighter and shit, but she's a little bit too relaxed. And I think she's gonna be down like 3 or 4 rounds before she realizes, oh shit, I gotta tighten up. And Sky is one of those fighters that she steal breadcrumbs. She gonna steal breadcrumbs off the table, steal it, go back, steal some more, take some more. She's never gonna grab the whole piece of cornbread. She's gonna get a little piece here, a little piece there. And before you know it, with those 2-minute rounds, she up 5-0, and then we like, damn, what happened? And then you gonna have, I can see, we can say, oh, she got robbed or she got a gift decision. Nah, you gonna have to press the gas from the opening bell against Scott Nicholson. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight relaxed. You gotta come in. You might have to take some shots, but the main thing you want to make Scott sit and fight. I don't know if Tierra ready to do that. I'm just keeping it in the book. You know what I'm saying? And she fighting in Australia. I'm just keeping it in the book. We'll see. Maybe she'll shock me. All right, Joe Smith Jr. He's supposed to come back this week, but he came down sick, so they're gonna postpone his fight to March 22nd. Just a little comeback fight for him. You know what I'm saying? Before he made one final run in the cruiserweight division, so had to put that out for him, former world champion. So I feel we coming. Yeah, that's there. See, I'm looking at that mindset. Not so much. I think Tierra is actually a better fighter. I'm not gonna hold you, but the tactics of fights and stuff and how she be playing out, I feel. And what if Sky don't move? What if Sky is sitting in the pocket and trading and just can't get hit because she's a good defensive fighter? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna see though. Andrew Gray, what's good with you, bro? Salute. Alright, so we got some more good fights coming up. This one's out in Japan, right? You got 2 world champions about to clash. You got Andrew Ayala. He's a champion, IBF champion at 112. He's going to face the IBF champion at 108, Masamichi Yabuki. Those guys are moving. So Yabuki is moving up to fight. They're going, they're both champions in the IBF. This is going to be fun right here. This is going to be a fun one. March 29th in Japan. So it should be a pretty solid event. But I like this fight right here. Ayala is good. He's a good boxer. He can bang, go to the body. A typical Mexican fighter. Yabuki is strong. I want to see if his power can carry up. Because he was sleeping shit at 108. So yeah, the next night, same promoter, but different night. You have another good fight. This at 105 pounds. It's a rematch. Melvin Jerusalem versus Yudeya Shikiyoko. So one of the upsets of the year, Jerusalem went over there to Japan and beat Shikiyoko. Beat him pretty clear too, you know what I'm saying? So he got another opportunity to do the same thing. Pretty good fight. Hopefully the winner, we can get them to unify with Asa Collazo or with the IBF champion. That'd be cool. So yeah, they gonna run that. You know, Japanese boxing is crazy right now. They got so many champions, so many good fights over there. So definitely gotta stay locked in. This is a good one. The first fight was good too. So hopefully the second one live up to it. All right. So next one. So this is my this is a little snapshot off of my Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure out who Janabek gonna fight, right? You know what I'm saying? I had a little drop on that shit. Like, who Janabek gonna fight April the 5th? So I did a little poll, and the poll is like based off who was ranked in the IBF and WBO, since my man is a unified champion. You know what I'm saying? So you see, I got Shane Mosley, I got the kid that he actually picked number 2, and then Severia. So here it is. You know what I'm saying? He picked the guy that was on the poll. This is a good fight, and I guess not sense of me. I never see. Yeah, I can't pronounce his name, but I seen him fight a few times, but more than a few. He's a good fighter, yo. He's an Olympian. You know what I'm saying? From France. He good. You know what I'm saying? He's strong. He do a lot of things well. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be there to give Janabek a nice little run. Janabek is a good puncher. You know what I'm saying? Good boxer. He got this aura about him when he's in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to defend his title against this kid April the 5th. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be in Kazakhstan. You can catch it on ESPN Plus on Top Rank. So they kind of tell you what Top Rank, how they value Janabek. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't really got that big for him. And before he selected this opponent, he had another opponent that's kind of, unherited. You know what I'm saying? Shaquille Thompson, who fought on Friday. That was the front runner, but his team was asking for too much money, from my understanding. So this should be, it's one of these fights where when you see the poster, you're like, oh shit, Janabek fighting another bomb type shit. But this guy kind of got some credentials. He haven't fought a lot of top guys, but he did beat an undefeated contender, Fedor Shikazian. He beat him on one of the Usyk. I think it was the Usyk and Dubois undercard. So he can fight. You know what I'm saying? So this card would be earlier in the day, April the 5th. And what they trying to do, Top Rank trying to do a card that same night in Vegas. Now, what they want to do is this one, Zor Adalev versus Raymond Atala. But this one right here, unfortunately, it's gonna get pushed back. So maybe around May or June. The reason why they couldn't come up with a deal to get it done, you know what I'm saying, in the proper time, because Zor Adalev is about to observe Ramadan. So he don't want to be training in the midst of that and then have to come to Vegas and all that shit. So he's out. He's out until maybe, I don't know, May or June. So Moratala, he just gonna have to sit and wait, because this is his big opportunity to fight for the IBF interim title. Because we know Lomachenko, he has a medical exemption. He's gonna be out for a while. So yeah, so that's kind of a bummer, because they've been planning to do this. They still in negotiations, but for my guess, they're gonna do this like in May or maybe June. So yeah. So Top Rank is looking for a main event for this show. Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Yeah, them 2-minute rounds, especially with a fighter like Scott Nicholson. Yeah, she be milking them 2 minutes. So this is something for you guys to look out for, right? Top Rank is still looking for a main event for this April 5th card in Vegas. Not sure who they're gonna put on there, but they do have a co-main event for that. You got Elvis Rodriguez versus Rodolfo Delgado. This fight is 140 pounds. Two contenders, you know what I'm saying? Going at it. It might be one of those loser leave Top Rank type of fights, because once you get to the top of the game, like I don't know if they're gonna have anything for the loser. But this is a good fight though. Elvis and Delgado, that's a good one. I'm not sure if it's main event worthy. So I'm not sure. If you think about it, you look at Top Rank, a lot of their previous main event guys, they got fights coming up, or they on undercards. That's why I'm looking at maybe Jared Anderson. He kind of got like a light touch next week. If he look good, maybe bring him back on this card. Abdullah Mason is fighting next week coming up. He's number 10 in the WBC. Maybe bring him back. You know what I'm saying? Maybe headline a show or bring him back if he look good. I'm not sure who's going to headline, but this is a good fight though. Real good fight. And then in the lieu of like Teofimo, kind of, we're not sure what's going on with him. If that WBO title becomes vacant, you already know how Tyrann get down. You know what I'm saying? So the winner of this fight is in position for sure. All right, so this is Eye of the Tiger. This is their schedule they got coming up. So March the 14th, they got a card with Eric Bayanza versus Stephen Butler fighting at 168. That's March the 14th. April the 10th, they trying to do Iglesias. We're going to talk about that too. And June 5th, not sure yet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see Billy right there. And Billy, he has to go to France to fight the final IBF eliminator versus Kevin Sajo. And that's going to be a good-ass fight. So probably April, May. That should be announced pretty soon. But as far as Iglesias, right? This is what I got for him. He's supposed to fight for the WBC interim title in 168 versus Luka Planic. Planic is from Croatia. He's a pretty solid fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's solid. Iglesias, he got like elite talent. Kind of like he like Morrell a little bit. Him and Morrell fight very similar. So the reason why this came about is because the WBC ordered Billy versus Munguia in November to fight for the interim title. No, it was December. Munguia got knocked out, and at that same time, Billy, the IBF ordered him versus Pacheco. Pacheco pulled out of that and fought Steve Nelson. So Billy stayed with it, and he's gonna fight Sajo for the IBF eliminator. So now they just they ordered the WBC interim title for this fight. So we're gonna see what's up. This is good for Iglesias because Iglesias is not going to get one of these big name fighters like, let's say, Caleb Plant, Berlanga. They're not just going to say, yo, I want to fight him. They're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. He had to get in position as a mandatory, or he had to bring something to the table financially to get those big fights. So, yeah, look out for this one, man. Should be hearing something soon. April the 10th. It should be on ESPN+. UFC Fight Pass announced another show, April the 19th. Almeida versus Aspedas. So, Almeida is like a clone of Triple G. He trained with Abel Sanchez, pressure fighter, come forward, go to the body. Espadaz, he been in the ring with Xander Zayas. He kind of like a journeyman type of guy that you put he a solid opponent, kind of tough, but you put him in with your up and coming guy. So yeah, UFC Fight Pass, yo. Listen, they be having some good fights on their card. They got Callum Wash. This is the same promoter that got Sergey Bohachuk. Callum Wash, Bohachuk, Omar Trinidad. Yeah, I'll be tapped in with them. So those are the fight. Those are what's coming up on the schedule. So we should be hearing some official announcements pretty soon. So this next one, we got we had a purse bid between Badou Jack and Ryan Rosinski. This is for the WBC Cruiserweight title. So we know Badou Jack, just a backstory. Badou Jack was champion in recess recently. Then he requested to come out of recess to get his title back because the champion at the time, Noah McKaylen, he's in a legal issue with Don King. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when I be hearing about Don King fighters calling out other fighters, that's why I always call cap on that shit, because Don King ain't letting you off that contract. You know what I'm saying? He ain't letting you off no contract. So it's like, it's always funny when I see like Blair Cobbs calling out Devin Haney and people trying to put Ed Green in fights. I'm like, bro, if Don King ain't go, you know what I'm saying? He know he's not improving that. So that's why Badou Jack decided to come back and get his belt back. This should be a fun fight. Style-wise, we haven't seen Badou Jack in about, 2 years when he beat Makabu. Yeah, on the Jake Paul card. So it's like we don't know what he got left, man. He's like what 41 now. Rosicky though, he's gonna bring the fight. He is a come forward, action packed type of fighter. No head movement, real strong, got solid power. It's gonna be one of those fights. Badou Jack probably, got the experience in big fights, but all that shit get taken away when your lack of ring inactivity and just being older and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. They're supposed to announce a date and venue pretty soon. I'm hearing like April or May for this. Now I'm thinking May because Badou Jack is about to observe Ramadan. So maybe in of May or some shit like that. We'll see. So here's another one. They went to purse bid. What's his name? Olaha. He is a fighter from Italy, but he's fighting out of Germany, a German-based promotion company. So his team made a deal with PBC for Kyron Davis. It's an IBF final eliminator at 160. So the winner becomes a mandatory for Janibek. Big opportunity for Kyron Davis, who is always like the B side of the. This is probably one of the one fights he should be the favorite on the betting odds, because Kyron normally he's the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Durrell, David Benavidez, even Elijah Garcia, he was the underdog. But we know he got a good coach. They always have a great game plan for him. Breadman Edwards. This is a good opportunity for him. He might have to go to Italy though for this fight. Also, I was thinking maybe they can slide this on the Canelo and the William scorecard because they got the same promoter. But we'll see. But yeah, good opportunity for Kyron Davis though. Yes, sir. All right, so we got a vacant IBF title at 130. Anthony Kakashi vacated his IBF title to face Lee Wood. We got more on that coming up. So we got this fight right here. This is a fight of the year candidate. Eduardo Sugar Nunez. He's the IBF mandatory who Kakashi turned down to fight Lee Wood against what's his name? I know this is Rikishi, but I forgot his first name. This is a good fight. Nunez versus Rikishi. It's a real good fight. It could be fight of the year type shit. And I say that because last year both guys was in elimination fights, and they had to come from behind to win their final eliminator. Sugar Nunez, he knocked out Romanov late in that fight, and it was on the road too. So both guys did it on the road. So, and then Rikishi, he knocked out Michael Magnisi in Italy. The 11th round, stopped him. So these guys' styles match up real well. This I don't know when this fight gonna happen, but this seems like a good undercard fight for the Canelo card. I don't know, match room and all that. We'll see what they do. But Nunez kind of got jerked around because of the negotiations with Kakashi. He ain't never was gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying? And he probably could have got back in the ring before, he could have got back in the ring by then. Because last time Nunez fought was August? He could have been back in the ring, but messing with the negotiations and stuff like that. But if this fight happens, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Alright, so moving on to this one, we got some fight announcements coming up for Queensberry Promotions. In April, they're going to link up with DAZN full time. You know what I'm saying? So, April the 5th is their first card. So, tomorrow, they're supposed to announce some of their shows. So, this is what they got right here. We got Joe Joyce versus Dillian Whyte. That's going to be the first show, April the 5th. They're going to announce. This probably going to be a good fight. I don't know what it means, like far as like in the landscape of the heavyweight division, like championship wise. But far as like a good fight, this probably gonna be a good fight. I think both guys lost a step. They older. I think Joe Joyce lost more of a step than Dillian Whyte. You know what I'm saying? Dillian Whyte is still, both of these guys is basically past him. But I think who if you ask me who got more, I'm gonna say Dillian Whyte. But we'll see. That's why they make the fights. It should be fun though. You know what I'm saying? Heavyweight fight. It could be fun. On that undercard, we got Lawrence Okolie versus Richard Rappaport. So two tall guys, 6'5", 6'6", former cruiserweights fighting at heavyweight. Rappaport, his last fight was against Chris Bell Smith at cruiserweight, and it was last June, and he lost that fight. He was a mandatory, so he's moving up. You know what I'm saying? Okolie already moved up. I guess you count Bridgeweight, but his last fight he weighed in at 260. You know what I'm saying? So these are big guys though, 6'6". They can carry that weight up. So I don't know. It's a good fight by name, but by style, I don't know. I don't know, because both of these dudes be hugging. They be on some Henry Akawande type shit. They be hugging each other. They be hugging their opponent. So we'll see. And then they tall and lanky and rangy. Who gonna create enough space to let their shots go? You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But this is the fight they got made though. You know what I'm saying? We should hear the announcement tomorrow. And here's one that kind of came out of nowhere, but this is a likely possibility. Moses Atomo versus Charles Martin, former heavyweight champion. And I seen him calling out Atomo. Atomo is what, 20 years old, up and coming guy, prospect of the year, all that good shit. This is a dangerous fight for Charles Martin. Dangerous. He passed it too, but he's still holding on. Now it's a good fight. Name recognition to have as a former world champion on your resume, but it's dangerous because this guy is fast. He got middleweight speed and he's punching like a heavyweight. Charles Martin, he been down a lot. He can give you tough fights, like he gave Jared Anderson some tough couple of rounds where he buzzed them and stuff, but he lost all the rounds. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. It's name value type shit. And here's another fight they're supposed to announce. Pierce O'Leary. I know the glasses will throw you off when you see this shit, right? But he can actually fight. He's going to fight John Fernandez, looking like April. This is 140 pounds. Pierce O'Leary at the top with the glasses. Yo, he's all action. They call him the Big Bang. He's a big puncher for this weight. Fernandez is like a boxer puncher. Been in there with Michelle Rivera. Who else? Somebody else beat him too. Shaki Foster beat him at 130. But yeah, I like Pierce O'Leary though. He's good. And then this another Queensberry card right here. Lee Wood versus Anthony Kakashi. So like I mentioned, Kakashi vacated his IBF title at 130 to fight Lee Wood. He's going to Lee Wood's hometown in his backyard. They're gonna do a big event there. So I don't really know I don't understand the ins and outs of turning that. Well, I do. Nunes is like that. He's a big puncher, and maybe Kakashi didn't want to go through that. But this another fight right here that could be like a fight of the year candidate, because Lee Wood got that clutch gene. Y'all already know that. He's sleeping shit late in fights, and he'll be getting beat up and shit. Then he'll come from behind and get the stoppage. Kakashi is in your face, strong. Rugged guy that can break you down. You know what I'm saying? You see what he did in Joe Cordina. He had, he beat Josh Warrington, but it was a so-so. You know what I'm saying? So this should be a good one too. So they talk about May the 10th for this fight. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. All right, last one. So last week it was a big circus surrounding Canelo Alvarez and fake news and all that shit that's been reported. So we finally came to a conclusion about all this, right? Canelo signed a 4-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh. This is the first one, fight right here. William scored May the 3rd. Let's take this down. May the 3rd, which probably made the most sense given what's going to happen in September. He's going to fight Terrence Crawford. So the play is become a 2-time undisputed champion. We know he vacated his IBF title not to face William Skull, so he fought Berlanga. So he vacated his IBF title last time. No, he got stripped. He got stripped of the IBF title. And then William Skull beat Vladimir Shishkin for it. Well, he was given a decision for that fight. Vladimir Shishkin really won that fight. But we here now. So I get to play. You know, as far as the matchup, William Skull is a tall, rangy boxer. He'll move around the ring, but he really don't throw a lot of punches. He gonna end up getting walked down and pot shotted all night in this fight. He was hurt against Vladimir Shishkin late in that fight, and he had one good round late, but he don't throw a lot of punches for me. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get the benefit of the doubt against Canelo. He's gonna have to let his hands go and really control the pace of the fight. So we'll see. We know what this is about, though. It's definitely giving Crawford the opportunity to become a three-time undisputed champion when he fight Canelo in September, because that's what it's all building up to, right? And that's a big fight. So William Skull right here, May in Saudi. This fight is in Saudi, and then you got Crawford in September, and then February he talking about between Dimitri Bivol and Hamza Shiraz. They haven't really nailed down that opponent, and then he'll have another fight October in Riyadh season. So that's a 4-fight deal. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. This is something that it really wasn't a big surprise. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really was surprised about seeing this because we know he had the Crawford fight. It was just a lot of misinformation that got people, up in arms and shit. So, yeah, that's what it is, yo. That shit's crazy. Everybody was going crazy last week over this fake news, but got the real shit now. Alright, so that's what it is, man. I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. You can find me on my social media, scrolling across the bottom, Twitter, Instagram. Tap into the website, ldusboxing.com. I'm about to upload the new schedule for this fight week. We got a good fight week coming up. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. We're going to talk about the fight week. So salute to everybody. That's my time, and I'm out.